High grade after colony, Wing Gundam. Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs2B's Gundam Reviews. .nest, and this high grade after colony has been impressive from unbox right up to the burn mode that you're seeing right there. So now it's time for my final thought, my final verdict on this HGAC long-awaited proper 1/144th version of the Wing Gundam. I've got to get my thoughts together here. I never thought I would say this about a kit, but I gotta say, this kit, practically perfect. Start to finish. I mean, I don't know what it was about this. It was just, it seemed like it was on a lucky streak from the beginning, but from the unbox, no complaints. From the build, tons of fun. From the MS mode and the individual parts, everything was great. The posability, the flexibility, the solidness, the size, the proportions, the colors, the options, the transformation even. And how often do you say that? I'm going to say that this is probably one of the best Gunpla kits that I've put together. And I've done, what, a couple hundreds now anyway. This one, start to finish, impressed, and I'm sure that it would do the same for you. Incredible cover art, a great price at 1,500 yen. Just everything about this guy. Sure, he's got seals, but not too many. He's got extra weapons. He's got all the ones that you'd expect. They throw in an extra beam saber. He can reach across and grab it. The shield looks fantastic. Tons of colors in all the right areas. The yellow color wrap down there on the Buster Rifle, which works, and no weight issues, despite the fact that it's big, bulky, and intimidating as it should be. The shoulders are moving all over the place perfectly. They solidly click in, well, without a click mechanism, for the actual transformation, but they're not just sitting there limply and just looking terrible. They're going to look great, no matter which way you bring them across the actual body. The waist section, simple, put some lining in it, it'll look just fine. Ignore the lining, and he's still going to look great because of his overall simplistic view, just feel, where they decided to go with the white and stick with it, and I think it looks fantastic on the lower body. The legs could have been a disaster with the bends all over the place there. The forearms could have been terrible with the claws, but instead the claws are fantastic. They feel solid, they bend down, they get exactly where they need to be. They can actually support him if you're going to put him on the ground without the use of an actual action base. And the legs for the transformation are going to look good, and the transformation with the legs and the double all over the place does not hinder the MS at all. The legs are going to be moving solidly. The hips were an absolute treat to put together. Love this new poly cap there. The thrusters moving on the back, the toes bend down just enough. The head sculpt, everything about this kit, my goodness. I never thought I'd say it again. Practically perfect. I mean, my goodness, when I'm putting together these verdicts, sometimes it's a real stretch to find the negatives. I'm just trying to point out things that some people might be annoyed with. It definitely doesn't apply to everybody, and sometimes not even to me. It's just possible negatives. But with this guy, I can hardly think of any. Probably the biggest complaint, that triangle that you put on his knee is a little bit too small for the lines around it. Yes, a teeny tiny 3-4 millimeter sticker is 0.1 millimeter too small. Yeah, that's it. I didn't even talk about how great the wings are back there. Yes, that's another thing. Maybe a little bit of white back there, but who cares? They're on the back. You're never going to see it anyway. Even when it's forward, it's the kind of thing a real grade might take care of, but in a high grade, you don't expect it. The wings are moving all over the place. The yellow, multiple parts. The white looks great. A simple line there. The red is going to move just enough, and the fact that it's actually rock solid. Whenever you pose you want to put it in, you can have them offset. You can have them whooshing dramatically in one direction. The name of the Gundam is Wing, and they did them very, very well. And if you're good at inking up those little yellow parts on the shoulders, and better than me, again, I think anybody looking at this on your shelf is going to agree that it may be one of the coolest looking ones. Well, especially if you grew up watching Gundam in the 90s. So future speculation, well, after high-grade Future Century and After War came to a slow stop after they put out their first couple kits, you've got to wonder that high-grade After Colony Gundam Wing is again the kind of thing that retailers in Japan, and especially small stores, they talk about the glory days of nothing but kids coming in and buying up everything they could get their hands on. 1/144th, 1/100th, the new ones from the Endless Waltz, etc., if they could get their hands on the OVA at the time. But it just seems that this is just the perfect opportunity for Bandai to get more of these HGAC kits out there. They've done a good job of getting out the master grades. There's more to come, as we all know. But think of how many HGAC kits there could be, whether you want to go the anime designs, the OVA designs, all of them you know that they're going to sell, and if they're of this same quality, there is no way that I would want to pass up on a single one of them. A kit that looks this good, is this much fun to put together, and just poses that well, deserves a whole band of boys around him, and a whole bunch of bad guys for him to go and bust her up, and maybe even a little Zero version, maybe even one with feathers. Ultimately, of course, this is just me. Would you go as far as I would to call this kit practically perfect? What have you built that's better than this? How about the knocks that I'm just completely glossing over with how impressed I was with this? The fact you have to put the hands in a Ziploc, is that going to stop anybody from buying it? Anyway, I would love to hear your thoughts about the kit, the transformation, about everything, and compare it to the old ones that we all built back in the day. Would love to hear your thoughts, and don't forget to go to gundamreviews.net where you can rate this. I'd like to see what its percentage of likes to dislikes is going to be, and see if you'd actually call it practically perfect itself. You can check it out in the post if it's not on the front page anymore. But wow, so impressed. It just makes me want a lot more. Anyway, please let me know what you think, and stick around for lots more news, reviews. Will they ever be as positive as this? I wonder. And everything else you can use. See you again, everybody. This guy, he's not flying anywhere. Well, except into the sky, not down to the ground. He has definitely wrested the title as the high-grade Wing Gundam. Well done, hero. You're actually sort of number one. Well, besides all the other reasons that you're number one. Now this is a high grade.